G'day there, it's Dave here, Dave Mills. Another quick video in my home Tarka series. And I would like to continue the theme of balance. You need to develop this alertness and sensitivity to the balance, and every move changes the board. And so I've got my trusty position from a game plan here as an example. I've marked out the center four squares for you, and you've got the Rubicon marked here. And you can see the end zone beyond the 16-15 line for white. Okay, so I won't labor it any longer. So what I want to talk to you about is some principles of the game and principles of the mind. Okay, so in the game, we spoke about in the last video about not overextending, being aware of the center, when to make a move in the center, to open things up, and to not trying to cross the Rubicon in one giant go. And so we touched on that concept. So we want to break this down into a few things, which is, are you in balance, between your power and your king safety? We touched on that in the video. Are you able to blitz through the center, or is the center closed or open? Is your opponent reacting in the center to a flank attack, or is the opponent reacting to the flank attack? So you want to ask these questions, and you want to keep your pieces in balance, and that might mean that some pieces aren't involved. And so you need to ask yourself, how can I move and open up a second front and involve more pieces? That might be as simple as centralizing the knights before continuing your attack. It might mean actually activating the rooks, and it might mean adding more pawns to the fray, so that your pieces have some more shock troops to throw at them as battering rams. And so that's the physical consideration. Always being aware of the center, always being aware of the king, and being very watchful to how they react to your forceful actions in their territory. Comes back to some basic questions of numbers in a given area, and it comes down to what the state of the position is. Is it open or closed? Are they doing a very healthy mix of fighting long and fighting up close? How are they playing? Are they playing a running game or a passing game? Are they trying to push the pawns and squires through, or are they trying to use them to open lines and help their running game? So these are the questions that you're asking yourself when you're looking at a board. Now, there's some mental principles as well, which is that you don't want your forces out of harmony. You don't want all the pawns in the same color as your bishop and archer. That's bad harmony between the structural sort of pieces and the active pieces, and you've got to mentally be calm and observant. If you're not reading them, they are reading you. If you are agitated, you don't see the whole board. So actively look from the center to each corner of the board. Be aware of numbers of pieces in a given area and each zone, and the center being the most important. And I can actually tell you right now, this rook in the corner has not moved, and is not it's not running down the board. We can, in just a couple of moves, join it onto our third rank and connect it to the other heavies. And this can be a way of joining in the attack in a significant way, so that you have the numbers because you always want to create superior matchups. But you're not going to do that if you're agitated, you're forgetting pieces, your awareness of pieces is dulled by not being calm and clear. And so that's the mental principle that will help you be mentally balanced and to be aware of what your pieces are doing for yourself. Like these knights are not very active right now. And so they will either need to swing to the center where they desire to be, where the grass is greenest, or they need to start flaring out here into their territory and actually giving them something else to think about rather than any sort of action. So you have these three main areas of battle, the left, the right, and through the center, and they all sort of dance like a marionette to a clear mind. So that's it. Look at your pieces, how they're cooperating. Look at the tension, look at where your forces are matching up against them. And one of the greatest advantages you can seek is to be where they're not. All right, move where they're not, and you can build tension, but you can also be a ghost. Find the squares where they're not. And so that's it. I hope you enjoy these videos, and I hope you develop that mental and gameplay balance of your forces. Take care. Bye.